This is a publicly traded company with a board of directors. If it was just, if Cuban is a personal investor, I understand why he wanted to fight that. This is a publicly traded company. Notice they didn't go after the company. They only went after him. I'm just saying he's rolling the dice. Right. He's rolling the dice.
You know what I also find interesting here is if you look at this settlement and what would actually have occurred, you would have had a new chairman, you would have had 2 new independent directors. I cannot tell you how many investors I've spoken to who either are neutral on Tesla or actually like it, who believe that would be perfect. That would be something they would embrace because it would keep Musk there, but it potentially would add some governance, some gating ability on his behavior, and just sort of, from their perspective, be a much better structure from which he could operate. So it's interesting that the very settlement he turned down potentially would have been one embraced by investors because of the addition of 2 independent directors and a new chairman.
Thank you. People would have bought the stock on that. I mean, you wouldn't get these downgrades, the downgrades to sell. You wouldn't be worried about this November refinancing. Plus, this would have given you the structure that we all would have loved. You put 2 people on, you suddenly have a very good board that is responsible. This would have been the home run. The SEC offered him a way to be able to finance, a way to be able to go forward, and he spurned it.
One of the analyst downgrades I saw was Citigroup going down to 225. They paint 2 scenarios here. They say both obviously more risk than reward. One is that Mr. Musk exits flat out, and then they raise the risk of fundraising, as Jim has just done. And the other is that he prevails or stays on, also some reputational harm to this company. I think the question is, how do you value the stock? I mean, that's always been the question, right, with Tesla. What's the Musk premium? But now investors really, Jim, have to think about that question and ponder it as we try to figure out his fate and whether he can prevail.
Absolutely, Sarah. I mean, what I think is interesting is the shorts thinks it's worth absolutely nothing, 0, okay? The longs think that it was outrageous that he tried to cap the upside at 420, and it's going to 1,000. I think this 1,000 versus 0 fight is going to continue because there are going to be people who say, listen, he would not do this unless he were totally innocent. If he's totally innocent and he gets the funding and the cars start making money, we get back to the $1,000 price target. So the bulls will not even be deterred by this. That's why, David, I mentioned, yes, somewhat facetiously, that if justice goes after him, but it might not be facetious ultimately, and he has a Martha Stewart outcome, then what you're going to end up with is something that the bulls, I mean, maybe the bulls think he's going to operate the darn thing from another place that typically we don't have CEOs do it, but what a deal. And I think the deal was a sweetheart deal. It was a sweetheart. What lawyer in his right mind? This is where the lawyer must have been caught up with the knees. And the board, well, how about the statement that he put without even any sort of real knowledge? The board backs him. Two independent directors would have made a good difference.
No, they would have. Listen, on this criminal thing, Jim, I mean, you well know the bar is far higher for that. Yes, I believe there's been reports of the U.S. attorney in San Francisco looking into this. You know, I don't know that gets anywhere. I don't even, what would they really criminal? I mean, I know you keep bringing this up, but it seems unlikely.
They could get him on a technicality of disclosure. What I'm just saying is, David, you know, when the SEC feels really spurned, they don't know where to go. And the one way that they could do it is go Southern District. Look, we don't know what's really going on, and you're absolutely right. Jail's really a stretch. I'm just saying, you go against the SEC. They don't play the way they did if you play with them. And I think going to justice is a way to do it, just to be able to get something done.